my dear students of class 12 biology. I hope that you are all fine and healthy. This is Roxana Parveen, Senior Lecturer, Department of Biology, Milestone College. Welcome you to the online class today. Today, we'll discuss about the specific format of answering CQs and MCQs. And we'll get to know the special techniques of getting full marks in CQ answering. Okay? So, my dear students, let's get started with the specialization on chapter 1, especially from core data. Let's get started. My dear students, it's a great confusion of getting full marks in CQs in most of the times. It's been seen that the students answered correctly or properly, maintain the track and answer to the point, but why they don't get the full marks? Yeah, that's the common question among all of the students. I hope that. Anyways, there is a very easy trick. Okay? First trick is be to the point or answer to the point, be on track, utilize your time properly, check and recheck, right? So in case of any stem, let's suppose there is a stem out there. Number 1, maybe what is something, okay? What is, that means definition, or what is the full form of something, who discovered this, or what is the scientific name of what. That means in case of knowledge based question, you must write the proper information, right? Then you will get 1 out of 1. There is no worry about it. But in case of 2, when you are answering for comprehensive question, remember you must provide 2 segments at least. That means it might be 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs. I suggest you to follow 2 paragraphing method, right? In the first paragraph, there will be definitions. In the second paragraph, there will be bit more. Something like what is that, what are the types, or any example or bit of extension of your knowledge, right? In case of C, there might be sort of structure or explain the importance or mention the significance of something, or maybe the differences or comparison. Whatever it is, you must remember that there is no extra mark for drawing any diagram for C standard question or application based question. For example, it's written that explain the structure of any kind of organelle, like in case of heart, okay? Any kind of functional issue or process, right? You don't need to put the diagram unless they ask you to do that, right? So it's very easy to answer, start answering. At first you write the first paragraph, which is introductory paragraph. In this paragraph, you must write at first the definition, then you can add bit more about what you are focusing to write. For example, if it is the structure based question, you just write the definition of that specific portion or highlight. Then you will add that followings are the basic structure, or the structures are stated below in brief, right? In case of differences for C, obviously you have to put a table or chart in the left side. Okay, you have to write the subject at first, subject, then the right side. Any kind of comparison matter 1, then the comparison matter 2. That means you have to differentiate between 2 things. In case of comparison, remember that you must provide both things at first, similarities and dissimilarities. No conclusion is needed over there, right? At first you have to answer that according to the stem A, B or C, D. You have to introduce the specific topic, whatever in the stem is trying to focusing you to, right? So here you have to at first introduce what is A, B or C, then just directly put the differences. But in case of structure or functional processes, you must maintain 3 segment formula. First segment is introductory, second segment is the main answer. Well, remember that in case of answering the C standard question or structure or any point based questions, okay, so here you better put Roman numbers, not small a, small b or C. You know why, okay? Because it will confuse the examiner whether it's an answer of C standard or A, B or C standard question, right? That's the common sense. Anyways, Then conclusion. So ask yourself, what could be the conclusion in case of structure based question? You wrote everything, but what is the conclusion based paragraph would be? Obviously, there would be three parts. Conclusion overall, these are the structures which are found in these parts. Maybe the subject issues are there, okay? Then you have to just conclude the overall idea into some bit of more extension, like this is called the powerhouse of a cell, or this is the principal organ of blood circulation, or this is the principal system for getting rid of something like waste materials or nitrogenous waste materials, right? In this way we can conclude the paragraph, okay? Next, what about the comparison issues? You are writing down, you are introducing the first one segment, first segment, that is of the stem. Number 2, you are putting the similarities, 2 or 3 similarities, and 4 to 5 dissimilarities. Then what about comparison? Someone asks you that what are the comparison between you and your friend? Obviously there will be only similarities and dissimilarities. There will be a decision, right? What's the decision? You might just write one sentence that this one is better than that, this one is more developed than that. That's it, guys. Next, number 4, or this standard question. What happens, most of the cases students just misunderstand that this standard question is very high scaled or very difficult. It's not really, trust me. In case of these standard questions, we have to follow the trend. Number 1, introductory paragraph. Number 2, the body paragraph 1, then body paragraph 2, and finally conclusion. These are 4 segments, not 4 paragraphs, okay? I repeat, 4 paragraphs, no. 4 segments, yes, right? So in case of 4 segment formula, what happens? At first we need to introduce the stem. Suppose the stem denotes that compare among A, B and C, okay? Or which one is developed among A, B and C, right? So you are voting to C, right? C is the most developed animal or organ or something else, then A and B. So you have to write down the easiest formula is at first introduction, then you are writing down the body paragraph 1 and 2. That means you are just writing the characteristics of A first, B second, and C third. After writing down the third issues, that means C issues, you can decide easily. Here you might write 3 issues or 2 issues. If it is the comparison between 2 issues or matters, you need to write 2 body paragraphs. If there are 3 issues, you need to write 3 body paragraphs, right? So you are voting A, B and C, right? So you are voting to C upon, or C overweights A and B. So you have to conclude with the sentence like, according to the stem, suppose C is a bird, right? It belongs to the class Aves from the subphylum Vertebrata, okay, under the phylum Chordata, right? So this contains much more developed features than these previous 2. That means it may be fishes, or it may be toads, or reptiles, or even non-chordates. Right? According to the stem, you have to justify properly. And in this case, the last one is the most important one. That means these and these 2 important paragraphs must be maintained properly. Then you will definitely get 4 out of 4 marks, right? Here, you must remember that suppose there is no such kind of point-based answer, right? It's a role or it's a process. Suppose it's written that write down the procedure or mechanism of something like digestion or absorption, or some evidences of evolution, right? So you need to provide more and more examples. You may provide a flow chart or any kind of creativity you need to show here, right? That's how you will definitely impress your examiner, okay? Now I will try my level best to just provide some sample answers in front of you and make some notes on this, and Remember that these are not final answers, right? These are just sample answers or standardized answer so that you can get the specific method to extract, and you have to write your own by applying creativity. Okay, so let's get started with PowerPoint presentation. Okay, let's come to the creative question number 1. Look at the question very carefully so that we can answer them properly. Remember that I'll show you some samples of answering these questions. These are not the finalized answers. You may apply your creativity by following different reference books and notes. Let's see. What is notochord? Notochord is a flexible cylindrical structure which is found at the dorsal side of an animal's body. If a species has a notochord at any stage, they are called chordate animals. What is meant by germinal layers? Here I told you to maintain 2 segments. Here is the first segment, which is the definition type or knowledge based. So the germ layer is a group of cells in an embryo that interact with each other as the embryo develops and contribute to the formation of all organs and tissues. 3 germinal layers are there: outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, and the inner endoderm. Cells in each germ layer differentiate into tissues and embryonic organs. The ectoderm gives rise to the nervous system and the epidermis, among other tissues. The mesoderm gives rise to the muscle cells and connective tissues. What about the C? Okay, let's know how to answer properly in case of 3 standard questions. Explain the features of the subphylum of animal A as mentioned in the stem. At first, we are gonna introduce with the stem. So according to the stem, A part of the stem is indicating the tunicata, that is, the animal groups belong to phylum Chordata, subphylum Urochordata. Various species of the subphylum Tunicata are commonly known as ascidians, or sea squirts or tunicates, sea pork, sea livers, or sea tulips. When you get any of those common names, you can easily understand this is meaning only the subphylum Urochordata. Okay, the identifying features of the subphylum are stated below. Number 1 is possesses a notochord, a hollow nerve cord, and a post-anal tail. Number 2, body has more than 2 cell layers and includes the tissues and organs. Number 3, has a U-shaped gut containing mouth pore at the top opening and anus at the upside position. Let's see the picture so that you can easily understand and memorize all the things as I just told, right? This is the mouth aperture through which food gets in. Here's the digestive system. After digestion, the waste materials are ejected out through this anal pore, right? This is the anal pore. Look at the diagram carefully. Okay. So go next points. Body has no coelomic body cavity. That means as they are a completely triploblastic animal, but no such kind of coelom exists over there due to some deformation during genetic development, they don't have any coelomic body cavity. Number 5, body wholly enclosed within a tunic of secreted protein and cellulose-like material. That's why they are called tunicata. This is the picture which shows the clear presence of the tunic or testis. You see, these are the structures for which they are called tunicata. Right. What about the next question? For 4th standard, animal C is higher than the animals A and B as mentioned in the stem. Here, my dear students, you have to remember that you just can't Just write the answers one by one. You have to maintain the segments, right? And finally, you will decide, you will tell that how they are facing contrasting characteristics, and so they are distinguished or developed, right? So answer starts with that. According to the stem, C indicates the most developed animal group called birds belong to the class Aves under the subphylum Vertebrata of the phylum Chordata. You must remember, my dear students, look at this sentence very carefully, that I have provided a detailed formal introduction of these animals' taxonomic position, right? Here you cannot skip any one of them. This is the main reason why the students cannot obtain full marks, right? But in this sort of questions, this is very easy to obtain the whole mark, okay? Next is, on the other hand, the animal A is focusing to the subphylum Urochordata of phylum Chordata, and B, as mentioned at the stem, is none other than the bony fishes which belong to the class Actinopterygii under the subphylum Vertebrata of the phylum Chordata, right? So you must remember the trend of putting down or introducing anything regarding taxonomy, okay? However, among these animal groups, C, that means class Aves, bears the most developed features. By the following discussion, I will try to reveal the facts. So now you start with the body paragraph 1. The identifying characteristics of animals from subphylum Urochordata. You are writing these things. I'm not uttering those things because you already know, and there is no issue of providing the same thing or repeating the same thing in the D wherever you have already done with the same points at the C standard questions, right? So some of the students have some misconfusions that they cannot repeat any quotation or any kind of point in the next question. Remember that this D standard question is totally independent, right? And should be evaluated independently. Okay, that's how we just put the characteristics of Urochordata. Then the next feature. Now the following common features are found in the class Actinopterygii. Okay, these are the common features of Actinopterygii. Just pause the video and you can have a note, and you have all these things common at your book, right? These 5 points are found in Actinopterygii, or the animals of this class, okay? Here you must remember some developed features compared to the previous one, right? Number 1, different types of scales are found. These are canoid, then cycloid, ctenoid scales, right? And they don't have any spiracle, but functional air bladder is found. Here is the air bladder, which is very, very important for Actinopterygii group, right? Then the caudal fins are either homocercal or heterocercal, right? Here most of the times they have dipicercal fins too. Endoskeleton is either bony or cartilaginous in Actinopterygii. But remember that in case of Actinopterygii, most of the fishes have the bony endoskeleton, where sort of presence of cartilage must be there to join the bones, right? However, let's come to the last feature for birds, right? However, the following common features are found in the class Aves, that means birds. The spindle-shaped body with 4 divisions: head, neck, trunk and tail, right? They have 4 limbs which are modified for flying, epidermal covering of feathers and leg scales, then presence of beaks and bills, fully ossified skeleton, that means the whole skeleton is made of bones with air cavities so that they can fly easily. Well, then the well-developed nervous system, and 4. completely divided chambered heart. So you can calculate easily that which one contains the most developed features. Okay. Therefore, birds are animals that possess wings and are able to fly. They have feathers and scaly legs. Fishes are aquatic animals with flippers and fins, and they use gills to breathe underwater. Moreover, in Eurochordata, the notochord, nerve cords, and the post-anal tail are only found in the larval stage, so they don't have these chordate characteristics as adults, which the animals from class Aves possesses. So the provided statement at the stem is truly justified. So my dear students, you got the overall idea that how I have finished up the conclusion. Okay? Right. What about the next creative question? It's all about the notochord. As you can see in the diagram that A means notochord. This is the common diagrammatic feature. This is not a serious animal, right? Diagrammatic feature means you can use this concept, right? What is atresia? Write down the functions of air bladder. Explain the features of phylum related to figure A at the stem. How animal classification is done based on the presence or absence of a marked part of the stem. Or I have added one more question over there, that you may also add the comparison between two groups on the basis of A and B. Okay, let's see the answers. What is atresia? It has been defined as normal process of follicular disintegration in fishes. That means when the eggs develop in the ovaries, sometimes the fishes don't get enough favorable environment to release. That time they automatically absorb the egg. That means which are automatically or initially absorbed by the fish's body. It takes place inside the ovaries, but remember that this is considered as a bit of reproductive dysfunction too. Right? Be standard question, write down the features of your bladder as you know already. So I'm not uttering the same question. Have a look and pause the video, make notes. Right. In case of C, standard features of the phylum related to figure A in the stem. According to the stem, A of the figure is indicating the notochord, which is the principal feature of the chordate animals. Anyway, identifying characteristics of the phylum Chordata are stated below. At first we need to point out the special feature, defining characteristics of chordates. In chordates, 4 common features appear in some point during development. That means all the features may not found in the whole life cycle. They may be found in any of the stage of their life cycle, right? These are notochord, dorsal hollow nerve cord, pharyngeal slits, and post-anal tail. Remember that these pharyngeal slits are premature structure of the gills. Here are the structures. Notochord, you already know the definition. What about nerve cord? At the dorsal tubular cord of nervous system or nervous tissue above the notochord of a chordate. This is generally found just at the dorsal side of notochord. Number 3, the pharyngeal gill slit. The filter feeding organs which are found in non-vertebrate chordates such as lancelets and tunicates and hemichordates living in aquatic environments, by which they also have lots of supports for respiration. Of course, they can filter the oxygen which are dissolved in water. What about the post-anal tail? This is the posterior elongation of the body extending beyond the anus. The tail contains skeletal elements and muscles which provide a source of locomotion in aquatic species. Post-anal tail is present during embryonic development, but it is vestigial as an adult. Okay, So this is the last question answering called the how animal classification is done based on the presence or absence of animal. A marked part of the stem. Analyze. Okay. According to the stem, A obviously is indicating the notochord, which is the principal feature of chordate animals. However, based on the presence or absence of notochord, the whole animal world can be divided into two groups, non-chordate groups and chordate groups. Remember, my dear students, here I have mentioned the most general answer. Okay, here you already know that who are the members of non-chordate groups. These are Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca and Echinodermata. They fall under non-chordates. Here, on the contrary, the animals bearing notochord are called chordates. They possess more developed and complex levels of organization such as heart, gills, lungs and so on, even the nervous system. So they are much more developed than non-chordate groups. In this part of the discussion, I would like to represent the comparison, right? On the contrary, the animals bearing notochord are called chordates. They possess more developed and complex levels of organization compared to those of non-chordate groups. Here are the comparison. Just pause the video and you can note it down and you can compare that how much developed they are. Finally, to conclude, you may mention that the four most prominent characteristics such as notochord, dorsal hollow nerve cord, pharyngeal slits and post-anal tail that distinguish chordates from species in all other phyla are the presence of a post-anal tail. You need to also know the time management. Okay, what are called the time management? At first, you need to calculate that we have 30 minutes for answering each CQ. So you may map your mind that you will utilize 1 to 2 minutes for A standard answers, 2 to 3 minutes for B standard answers or comprehensive, and 7 to 10 minutes for C standard question answering. Okay, you may use 1 minute more, no problem. And finally, you have to practice a lot to finish these standard questions within 30 minutes. Well, my dear students, so thank you very much for watching my video. Take care. Bye-bye.